So just thinking about those two cues right now as you're laying there on your back. So as the hip points draw towards one another, you're pressing the low back into the ground slightly. Feeling the tension across the hip points. That warmth, that engagement, that fire. So I want to introduce the idea of tapas today. So it kind of is really beautifully complementary to the idea of surrender, because we can't just go through life surrendering. We must have discipline. And discipline is a really rough translation of what tapas is, but I want to share a story with kind of my interpretation of tapas. So tapas is one of the niyamas. And so if many of you guys have kind of been following along, I've been climbing a lot of mountains recently. And this past climb was the most challenging yet. We peaked 3 mountains in one day. And by mountain 3, I had probably a pretty grim look on my face, not very welcoming. And so one very welcoming, friendly guy on his way down from the mountain stopped me and he looked at me in the eyes and he said, "One foot after the other, right?" And I was 5% FU, and then a 95%, dang, he's right. That's it. 1 foot in front of the other. Tapas. Discipline. The commitment to taking that next step right after the other. Not knowing what's at the top. Just this deep knowing that beauty is to come from taking that step. And the next, and the next, and the next. The commitment. And so today, we're going to commit to really drawing attention to those hip points and drawing them towards one another. That's it. If that's the only thing you're committing to today, not too big. I feel like we can do that. So big breath in. Draw your knees in towards your chest as you exhale. And just rock from side to side. You can wrap your arms around your shins, just making a tight little ball, feeling the low back against the ground. And then really nice and slow, just start to straighten your right leg up towards the ceiling. You can drop the left foot down towards the ground. Interlace fingers behind the belly of the right thigh. And just draw that thigh towards you. Kicking up through the right heel, toes down towards your shin. And then just gently start to lengthen the left heel towards the top of the mat. Breathing into the back of the right hamstring. So taking about 5 breaths here. Really just starting that dialogue with the back of the leg. How can you send the breath to the tightness today? And one more really big breath in. Fill the belly, the chest. And on the exhale, nice and slow, lower that right leg down towards the earth. As soon as the right heel taps, you're going to bend the right knee and plant the right foot flat on the earth. Draw the left leg up towards the ceiling, interlace fingers behind the belly of the left thigh. And it's just this breathing here. Start to lengthen the right heel towards the top of the mat. 2 heels kicking away from the body as the toes pull back towards the shins. And really big breath in, expanding through all sides of the rib cage, down to the low belly. And then exhale, lower the left leg down, releasing the hands by your side, nice and slow. As soon as that left heel taps, draw both knees in towards your chest. So pressing your low back into the ground, you're wrapping your arms around your shins just for 1 breath in. And then on the exhale, start to straighten both heels up towards the ceiling. So knees are completely straight here. You're pressing your sacrum into the ground. So that upside down triangle underneath your lumbar spine, so underneath the low back, you're pressing into that and kicking up through the heels, hugging all muscle to bone, and then you're going to reach your fingertips towards the back of the mat, thumbs pressing down. So here we're just going to start to engage the core, so we're feeling that core work here. Pulling the arm bones down into their sockets, you're going to squeeze the bottom tips of the shoulder blades towards one another. Keep that, and then reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling. All right, keep plugging the shoulders down into the ground, keeping the chest relatively broad as you keep that low belly nice and tight. Big breath in. And on the exhale, press your low back into the ground a lot. Hug your belly in towards your spine. And again, inhale. This time on the exhale, lower the legs and the arms towards the mat. As soon as your low back lifts away from the ground, you're going to come right back to that starting position. And we've got 10 of these. So lowering down at your pace, keeping track of your number. As soon as the low back lifts, as you lower down, you're reaching right back up to that. It's sort of like a dead bug position. That's what I like to call it. So after your 10, we're going to meet in a tabletop. So you can roll up and through. And then find your blocks. So we're going to take our first block and just place it in between our thighs. So take it on highest height first. And then just place it right in between your thighs. So squeeze that block as much as you can. You can untuck your toes or have them tucked, completely up to you. And then spread your fingers nice and wide, wrist creases parallel to the top of the mat. So we're going to start with a cat. So pressing into our palms, hugging the belly up towards the back. Squeeze that block as much as you can, internally rotating the thighs. So you're sending the inside edges of the thighs back towards the back of the mat. Notice the feeling of the hip points closing as you hug that musculature in between those two bony landmarks up towards your back. Okay. Keep that engagement of the low belly as you start to melt your chest through your shoulders really nice and slow here. Start to tilt the sits bones up towards the sky. Feel that transition as you continue squeezing the block. And then we'll come back to our cat, squeezing, especially in the transition. Closing the hip points. And then inhaling to your cow pose, nice and slow. Exhale, round. So take 2 more on your breath, really noticing the transition. So how can you keep your hip points drawing towards one another even as you release your belly towards the earth for your cow pose, arching the spine? And then after your second, walk your hands a little more forward towards the top of the mat. Tuck your toes and press up to a plank, keeping the block in between your thighs. This time, the inside edges of your thighs are rolling up towards the ceiling. Big breath in to shift your shoulders forward of your wrists. And then exhale, lower down through your chaturanga, bending the elbows, keeping them in towards the midline, closing the hip points. Keep the hip points drawing towards one another as you pull through to your back bend. Inhaling here. Exhale back. Squeeze the block as you reach your seat up and back to down dog. Beautiful job. Take 2 breaths here. Third, inhale, roll forward, top of a push-up. So really tap into that transition when we lower through chaturanga and make our way into our back bend. Hip points closing to decongest the sacrum. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Inhale, pull through, close the hip points, create space in the low back. Exhale, all the way back, down dog. We've got 2 more. Inhale, forward, top of a push-up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, close hip points, pull through. Exhale, back, down dog. 1 more time. Inhale, forward. Exhale, lower through. Inhale, pull up. Exhale, press back. All right, take 5 breaths in your down dog. Feel the block in between your thighs, squeezing, internally rotating the thighs up towards the ceiling. And then walk your hands towards the back of the mat. You can tent your fingers, just adding a little bit of wrist strengthening into this. And then remove the block. Take both blocks about 1/3 of the way up your mat. And then rise up to standing. Okay, big breath in, arms rise. Exhale, hands by your side, Tadasana. Shift your weight into your left foot and bring your right knee in towards your chest. So feeling that engagement of the left hip down to the bottom of the left foot. You're hugging all muscle to bone, sending a line of energy down from the left side groin into the instep of the left foot. Now bend the right knee a little bit more, hugging the heel towards your seat. Reach for the right ankle with your right hand. You can take your pointer and thumb to touch, reaching the left arm up, and then you're squeezing your thighs together to touch. So thinking about those hip points closing towards one another as you lengthen the right knee down away from the right side groin. So keep the belly nice and tight. Staying here 3 breaths. Third exhale, bring your right knee in towards your chest and then interlace fingers behind the belly of the right thigh. You're going to kick out through that right heel and pause here, drawing the tips of the shoulder blades together, hip points together, and then lowering that right hip down in line with the left. Belly is engaged like crazy. We're taking a big breath in. Exhale, release the hands down by your side. Keep the right leg hovering. Inhale, I know. Exhale, step it halfway down your mat. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, hands down to blocks. So keeping it pretty easy here. Your options are many. So you can stay high on the highest height, middle height, or lowest height. If you're ready for ground, go for it. But it's early on, so we're going to keep it nice and supported. Inhale for the lift of the heart. Exhale, wrap the right hip back, and then send a line of energy from the right side groin to the instep of your right foot. Pressing down through the big toe ball mound as you fold, hinging from where the torso meets the leg. Crown of the head, reaching for the ground. Just this, 3 breaths. Third exhale, bend into your right knee, walk your blocks forward. So I encourage you to take them on the highest height if you lowered them down, just giving yourself a little space. And then tent your fingertips high up on the blocks. Drop your left hip down in line with your right and add a little kick into your right knee. You're kicking through your left heel and reaching long through the crown of your head. All right, now squeeze those tips of the shoulder blades together. Hug your hip points towards one another by lifting the belly up towards the back. Taking 3 breaths here, really strong, body in one straight line. Third exhale, draw your left knee in towards your chest, hug everything in, chin towards chest. Big breath in. And exhale, round your way up to standing. Left knee in towards your chest and pause. Find the muscles of the right leg. Root down evenly through that right foot, and then drop the left hip down in line with the right. Hug the left heel towards your seat even more, and grab your left ankle with your left hand. So thighs will touch, and then you're squeezing hip points towards one another, lengthening the left knee away from the left side groin as you kick the left foot into the left hand. Chest is broad, shoulders back. You can connect the pointer and thumb and raise the right arm up. Taking 3 breaths here. Third exhale, release the ankle, left knee in towards your chest, interlace fingers behind the belly of the left thigh. Kick out through that left heel. Find the muscles of your low belly, closing hip points, lengthening the left hip away from the left low ribs. Big breath in. On the exhale, release the interlace, keep the hover. Inhale. Exhale, step it all the way towards the top of your mat. Find your blocks, move them a little forward. Inhale, the heart lifts. Pause here. Exhale, wrap the left hip back. Shoot a line of energy from the left side groin to the left ball mound side of your, the big toe ball mound side of your left foot. And then fold down, crown of the head reaching for those left toes. So again, the dialogue continues with the back of the left leg. One more breath in. And on the exhale, little kick in your left knee, walk your blocks forward. I encourage highest height, bounce off the back foot, warrior 3, hands down on blocks. So you're wrapping that right hip down in line with the left, keep a little buoyancy in the left knee. Close the hip points by lifting the belly up towards the back. Bring yourself high up on fingertops. And now draw the tips of the shoulder blades together. It's a slight upper back bend as you kick through the right heel and reach long through the crown of the head. 3 breaths here. And third, exhale, right knee in towards your chest, chin towards your chest. Make a little ball, hug everything in. And then rise up to standing. Right knee in towards your chest. Step it down next to your left. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale for the lift. Exhale, plant palm, step back, shoot back, lower down through your chaturanga. Inhaling to your back bend, close the hip points. Exhale, back down dog. 3 breaths. Bottom of your third, exhale, hop or step towards the top of your mat. Inhaling for the lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, arms reach. Exhale, hands by your side, Tadasana, heel toe your feet to touch, knees touch. Inhale, sit down, chair pose, squeeze your thighs towards one another. You're closing your hip points even here. Hugging the belly towards the back, lengthening the tailbone down. Big breath in as you reach long through the fingertops. And on the exhale, squeeze the tips of the shoulder blades together. Okay. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Hands down to ground or blocks. Inhale, lengthen and prepare. Exhale, plant palm, step, jump, lower through. Inhale, back bend, close the hip points. Exhale, back, down dog. Right foot steps forward, pivot the back foot 45, rise up to your warrior 1. Circle the arms back behind you, interlace fingers. Draw the fist down the left leg as you punch the chest up towards the ceiling. Inhale. Deep bend in the right knee as you exhale, fold down on the inside of that right leg. Lifting the heads of the shoulders away from the ground, super engaged in the upper back. Now draw your attention to the low belly, draw it up away from the ground. Full breath in. Use the exhale to press into your right foot and rise your arms back to your warrior 1. Inhaling here. Exhale, hands down to frame your right foot. Lower down through your chaturanga. Inhale, back bend, close the hip points. Exhale, back, down dog, left foot steps forward. Pivot the back foot 45, rise up to your warrior one. Circle the arms behind you, take the opposite grip, weird thumb on top. Roll the heads of the shoulders, fist punch down your right leg. Big breath in, heart rises. Exhale, fold down, deep bend in the left knee. Reaching the heads of the shoulders away from the ground, super engaged in the upper back. Draw the belly away from the ground. Big breath in. Use the exhale to press into that left foot and rise all the way back up to your warrior one. Inhaling to arms rise. Exhale, hands frame your left foot, step back, lower through. Inhale to your up dog cobra. Exhale, back, down dog, 5 breaths. Option for child's pose here. And bottom of your 5th exhale, make your way to the top of the mat. Inhaling, lifting low belly, upper back. Exhale, fold and heel toe your feet to touch, knees touch. Inhale, sit down, chair pose. Exhale, stand tall, Tadasana. Inhale, sit down, chair pose. Belly in towards your back, close the hip points. Lift the fingertips up and squeeze the tips of the shoulder blades towards one another. Here for 2 breaths. Second exhale, connect the palms. Big breath in, draw the shoulder blades down. Exhale, hands through heart center. And then take a twist towards the left, hooking the right elbow outside the left thigh. And pause here, look down at the knees, make sure they're even. Big breath in. On the exhale, shift your weight into your left foot, step your right foot towards the back right corner of your mat. So taking your twisted lunge. And pausing here, pressing that right elbow into the left thigh. Inhale. And exhale, arms rise, high lunge. Just bend the back knee slightly and deeper bend in the front knee. You're going to hug the belly in towards the back, close the hip points here. So scissoring the legs in towards one another. Keep that and lengthen the right heel back as you straighten the right knee. 1 breath into the top of the right thigh. Exhale, lower that back knee, untuck the back toes, take your hands to your hips, Anjaneyasana. So feeling the hips here as you wrap the left hip back, right hip forward. Close the hip points, hug the belly in towards the back. Lengthen the tailbone down. Keep all that, and then just start to descend a little more into this left knee. Lowering the hips towards the ground, and then rise the arms up. Pausing here, 5 breaths. So really getting into the top of the right thigh. Sorry, Renee. Okay, ready for the transition? Gate pose towards the back of the mat. So you're taking and spinning your right shin, stepping the right hand towards the back of the mat. Left toes turn in. Pinky edge side parallel to the front of the mat, left arm rises. Hope you caught all that. Big breath in, lift the right side body away from the ground. And on the exhale, bring the left palm parallel to the ground in front of you. Plug the left shoulder back, squeeze the tips of the shoulder blades together, and then sweep that left arm up and over your left ear. So taking 3 breaths here into the left side body. Third, exhale, reach your left fingertips towards the top of the mat. Engage the core as you lift your arms to a T. Send the left hand down the left leg, flip the right palm, reach towards the top of the mat. So this time breathing into the right side body for 3 breaths. Turning your chest up towards the ceiling, gaze is underneath your right bicep. Next transition, runner's lunge, top of your mat, pivot everything forward. Spin the back shin around so it's directly behind your right knee. You can grab blocks if you need, so bending into this left knee, reaching forward. Digging that left heel into the mat as you wrap the left hip back. We're inhaling the heart forward and exhaling to fold. So finding your edge here. We're going to be doing some splits poses. So really, the dialogue with the backs of the legs are super important today. How can you breathe into the tightness? Release on the exhale. Next inhale, take both hands or both blocks outside your left leg. You're going to inhale your heart through your shoulders, turn the left toes towards the middle of the mat, so turning them down inward, and then just fold any amount. So working on that internal rotation of the left leg, engaging the inside muscles. So that internal rotation is originating from the hip, not just the ankle. One more breath in. And then exhale, two hands or two blocks down on the inside of your left leg. Turn the left toes out towards the left side. Inhaling the heart through the shoulders. And then exhale, fold. Start to bend into your left knee, planting the left foot flat, lizard lunge, top of your mat. So two hands down inside your left foot. And we're pausing here, finding our pose, feeling the chest pull through the shoulders, squeeze the tips of the shoulder blades together. And what would it feel like to close the hip points here? So tighten the belly up towards the back. And then you're just going to reach your left arm up towards the ceiling, palm facing the left edge of your mat. Start to bend the right knee, heel towards your seat. And then you can either just reach back with your fingertips as if you were going to grab the right ankle, or you can actually grab the right ankle. If that's not accessible to you, then we're just staying with palm facing open, chest reaching towards the left edge of your mat. Just building strength here. Yeah, beautiful. Taking 3 breaths. So right knee dragging forward, left heel dragging back on your mat, as if you're trying to wrinkle up the center of the mat. Everything's engaged. And release the right foot, left hand down inside of your left foot. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Lizard lunge, upright. Big breath in, chest through shoulders. Exhale, Skandasana, back of your mat. Walk your hands all the way over towards the right foot, bending into the right knee. Right toes turn out 45, left turn up towards the ceiling. So we're going to keep our hands down for this one. Pressing our heels into the ground and squeezing them towards one another. Really tune into the outer right thigh, so bring your attention there. It's super engaged as you're widening that right knee over your second big toe. 3 big breaths here. And exhale, Skandasana, top of your mat. Bending into that left knee tracking over your second big toe. Right toes turning up towards the ceiling as you squeeze your heels towards one another. Outer left hip is super engaged. 3 breaths here. And third exhale, low lunge, top of your mat, turning everything forward. Hands frame your left foot. Big breath in to lift the heads of the shoulders away from the ground. And exhale, slide the right foot to meet the left, forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold, heel toe your feet to touch, knees touch. Inhale, sit down to your chair pose. 2 breaths here, hug the belly in, close the hip points, squeeze the tips of the shoulder blades together. Second exhale, connect the palms. Pull your hands down through heart center and take a twist towards the right, hooking the left elbow outside the right thigh. So finding your twist here, knees are level with one another, so take a peek down. Big breath in. Start to shift your weight into your right foot. On the exhale, step your left foot towards the back left corner of the mat. Finding this lunge twist. Big breath in. On the exhale, reaching the arms up. Inhaling. Little bend in the back knee, deep bend in the front knee. Wrap the right hip back, left hip forward. Close the hip points by scissoring the legs in towards one another. Inhale. Exhale, kick through that left heel, straightening the left leg all the way. Breathe into the top of the left thigh. And then exhale, lower that left knee down, untuck the back toes, take your hands to your hips. So again, wrapping right hip back, left hip forward. Hugging the belly in towards the back, scissoring the legs. So right heel pulls back, left knee reaches forward, and then rise the arms up. Squeezing the tips of the shoulders, 5 breaths here. Descending the hips, bending into that right knee, breathing into the top of the left thigh. And ready for the transition. Gate pose towards the back of the mat. Pivot the left shin 90. Step the left hand towards the back. Right toes turn in. Pinky edge side parallel to the top of the mat. Inhale, right fingers reach up. Lift the left side body away from the ground. Exhale, bring the right palm parallel to the ground in front of you. Plug the right shoulder back. Squeeze the tips of the shoulder blades together as you bring the right arm over the right ear. Big breath in. Take 3 of those into the right side body. And third, exhale, reach your right fingertips towards the top of the mat. Engage the core as you lift your arms to a T and make your way to reverse gate. Right hand slides, left palm flips and reaches back. Turning your chest up towards the ceiling, gazes underneath your left bicep. Breathing 3 breaths into the left side body. And third, exhale, runner's lunge, top of your mat. Option to grab blocks, pivoting that left shin all the way around so it's directly behind your left knee. And then inhaling the heart forward. Pause there, dig that left heel into the ground and right heel and drag the right hip back. Left hip forward, fold down, crown of the head, reaching for the right toes. Take 2 hands down on the outside of your right leg, and the turn of the leg is originating from the hip. So turn that leg down towards the inside of the mat. So right toes turning towards the left. And then inhaling the heart, diagonally out towards the right. Exhale, tiny hinge forward. And then 2 hands or blocks down on the inside of your right leg. Turn your right toes out towards the right this time. Inhaling the heart out diagonally towards the left. And exhaling, folding any amount. And lizard lunge, top of your mat, 2 hands down on the inside of your right foot. Right knee is bent. Keeping that left knee down. We've got 2 palms pressing for now, or forearms. You can lower to forearms. We're lifting the right arm up, inhaling, palm facing the right edge of your mat. And then reach the right fingertips back for the left foot. If they don't reach, that's fine. Just stay in this open twist. So pressing down through the right heel, dragging it back towards your left knee dragging forward, descending the hips, breathing into the top of the left thigh. Last breath in. And release the left foot. Left toes tuck under. Right hand plants on the inside of your right foot. Lift the back knee. Lizard lunge, upright, just for a breath. Pull the chest through the shoulders. And on the exhale, Skandasana, back of your mat. Left toes turn out, bend into that left knee. Right toes turn up towards the ceiling. This time, hands at heart center. Yeah, so digging the heels into the ground and drawing them towards one another. Widening that left knee. Breathing, 3 breaths here. Third exhale, challenge yourself. Skandasana, top of your mat. Keep your hands at heart center. Always option to lower the hands. And 3 breaths on this side. Engaging the outer right hip. So strong in the legs. And third exhale, low lunge, top of your mat, hands frame your right foot, all 10 toes facing forward. Inhale, lift the heads of the shoulders away from the ground. Exhale, slide the left foot to meet the right. Inhale, lift the low belly, upper back. Exhale, fold, heel toe your feet to touch, knees touch. Inhale, sit down, chair pose, hip points draw together, shoulder blades draw together. Stand tall, Tadasana. Sit down, chair pose, sorry. Connect the palms. Pull them down through heart center. Take a twist towards the left. Hook the right elbow outside the left thigh. Make sure your knees are level with one another. Big breath in. Exhale, step into the left foot. Right foot steps towards the back right corner of your mat. Option for Ekapada Kundanyasana 1 here. So 2 hands down outside your left leg. And then you're just shifting your weight into your triceps, resting that left leg over top. And then just taking a little twist split. Be really mindful about how you're coming out of that. See if you can get yourself back into your high lunge. We'll all meet in high lunge. Big breath in, reaching long through the fingertips. Exhale, lower the back knee, untuck the back toes, take your hands to your hips, slide your left hand down your left thigh, and then reach back for your right ankle with your right hand. So scissoring the legs in towards one another, closing the hip points. Left heel back towards your right knee forward towards your left heel. Everything is upright. Option to lift that left arm up. Two more breaths. And second exhale, release, gate pose, back of your mat. Just 1 breath in. Exhaling, bringing the left arm up and over the left ear. Inhale. Exhale, reverse gate. 2 breaths into the right side body. And second exhale, runner's lunge, top of your mat. Option for Hanumanasana here. Full splits pose. If you want to be crazy pants and grab the right ankle with your right hand, you're more than welcome to do so. Nice, Renee. And just taking about 5 breaths in your splits, wherever you are. Ardha Hanuman, full Hanuman, breathing here. The dialogue continues with the back of that left leg. And then slowly make your way out, drawing the left heel back or bending into that left knee. And finding lizard lunge, top of your mat, 2 hands down inside of your left foot. Okay, so option to hang out in this lizard lunge, or you can just thread your left shoulder underneath your left knee and make your way into Ekapada Kundanyasana 2. So kicking the left foot forward, right foot back. Beautiful, Renee. Awesome, nice. Everyone in the virtual studio, Renee is in a chin stand and it is awesome. Okay, back to lizard lunge. So cool. Big breath in, lift the back knee, so lizard lunge upright. And then we're shifting to Skandasana, back of your mat. Hands down or up, your choice, 2 breaths here. Skandasana, top of your mat, 2 breaths here. And straighten the left leg, wide-legged fold, inhaling high up on fingertops. Exhale, fold, option for headstand here. If you're staying in your fold, use this as an opportunity to kind of reverse the pressure on the neck. So nodding the head yes, shaking the head no, just inviting some space in between the vertebrae of the cervical spine. And headstanders, you can start to make your way down. Nice and slow, engaging the core. All right, everyone lift high up on fingertops. Low belly, upper back rises. Take your hands to your hips, rise up to standing. Left toes turn out towards the top of the mat. Arms extend in opposite directions. Send the right hip back, left fingertips forward, and then bring your left hand down either to the ground or block, so you can grab a block if you need, taking Trikonasana, triangle pose. Spiraling the inner left thigh down as you press through the big toe, ball mound side of that left foot. 2 breaths. Second exhale, right hand down inside of your left foot, bend into that left knee, all 10 toes forward, left arm rises on the inhale. Exhale, Vashisthasana, roll onto the pinky edge side of your right foot. 1 breath here, lift the hips nice and high. And then exhale, left hand down, left foot down, lower through your chaturanga or skip it. Pull through your back bend, close the hip points. Exhale, lift from the hips all the way back to your down dog. 1 breath in. Exhale, make your way towards the top of your mat. Inhale for the lift and lengthen. Exhale and fold, heel toe your feet to touch, knees touch. Inhale, sit down, chair pose. Exhale, connect the palms. And pull your hands down through heart center. Take a twist towards the right, hooking the left elbow outside the right thigh, and then left foot steps towards the back left corner of your mat. Pausing here in your twist, option to take Ekapada Kundinasana 1. So hands down to the ground outside your right leg, and then just starting to bend the elbows, shifting the weight of your right leg in on top of your triceps, and then kicking 2 legs. And then be really mindful about how you're coming out. See if you can make your way back into your high lunge. We'll all meet there. Inhaling through the fingertops. Exhale, lower the left knee down. Take your hands to your hips. Slide the right hand down the right thigh. And then reach back for your left ankle with your left hand. Taking 5 breaths in this thigh stretch. Descending into the hips, bending into that right knee. What does it feel like to close the hip points here? As we continue trucking along, one step after the other. Next, exhale, gate pose, back of your mat. One big breath into the right side body. And exhale, reverse gate. Sliding your right hand down your right leg, flipping the left palm. Big breath into the left side body. And on your exhale, twist towards the top of your mat, Ardha Hanuman or full Hanuman. Again, option for that thigh stretch. So scissoring your legs together here. What would it be like to close the hip points, have that same engagement right here? Two more breaths. then make your way into lizard lunge, top of your mat. 2 hands down inside your right foot. Option to stay here in your lizard lunge or thread the right shoulder underneath the right leg and find your Ekapada Kundinayasana 2. When you're ready, coming out, nice Renee, finding that lizard lunge again. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, big breath in, heart through shoulders, and exhale, Skandasana, back of your mat. 2 breaths. Second exhale, Skandasana, top of your mat. 2 breaths. Second exhale, straighten the right leg, wide-legged fold. High up on fingertips to inhale, lift the low belly, upper back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift, and pause. Plant your right fingertips, left arm rises. If you want to make this a little deeper, then you can walk your right hand over towards your left ankle, grabbing it. And then the work here, whatever twist you're in, you're keeping your hips in line with your ankles and lengthening the crown of the head away from the base of the spine. Twisting from the mid-back, wrapping that left shoulder on your back. 2 more breaths. And switch sides. Left hand down, right arm rising. Option to stay right there or reach for the right ankle with your left hand. Again, hips in line with ankles, crown of the head reaching away from the base of the spine. Creating space between the vertebrae for this twist, wringing everything out. One more breath. And exhale, right hand down, left hand down. Inhale, lift the low belly, upper back. Exhale, take your hands to your hips, rise up to standing. Right toes turn up towards the top of the mat. Extend the arms, arms come to a T. Send the left hip back, right fingertips forward until you can't reach anymore. And then bring your right fingertips down to the ground or block outside your right shin. Left arm rising directly above the right. Opening the heart towards the ceiling. 2 breaths here. Second exhale, left hand down inside of your right foot, right knee bends. Turn all 10 toes forward. Inhale, right arm rises. Exhale, roll onto the pinky edge side of your left foot, Vashisthasana. Inhale, the hips away from the ground. Exhale, right hand down, right foot down. Inhale, forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, pull through. Exhale, press back. Almost done. Right leg rising, bend the knee, open the hip. Big breath in. And exhale, bring your right knee towards your right wrist. So we're going to stay upright for this one. So I like to have my right heel a little closer towards my seat when I'm taking a thigh stretch. So a couple options how to get into this thigh stretch. You can keep your left hand down, reach back for the inside of your, or outside of your left foot with your right hand. Or you can keep the right fingertips down and reach back for the inside of the left foot with your left hand. So whatever you're feeling today. What does it mean to close hip points here? So pulling the left hip forward, right hip back, squeezing those hip points, lifting everything in and up. So taking another 5 breaths in your thigh stretch. Option for any variation if you want to take mermaid by hooking this left elbow, reaching back for the left hand with the right hand. Or you can take a Ekapada Raja Kapotasana. So just flipping the grip and bringing the foot towards your head. And after your 5th exhale, lowering all the way down. Really nice to take a block underneath the forehead. And we'll take about 10 breaths here. So just kind of keeping a gentle awareness around the hip points and the shoulder blades. Lift high up onto your palms, tuck your left toes. Right leg up and back, down dog. Big breath in between sides. Inhale, left leg rises, bend the knee, open the hip. Exhale, bring that left knee into pigeon. Again, I prefer the left heel a little closer towards my seat with these thigh stretches. And then again, you can right hand down or left hand down, reaching back with the opposite hand for your right foot. So noticing here how the tapas, the discipline of closing the hip points, allows for space in the sacrum, being sure not to congest the sacrum too much, the low back, and then squeezing the shoulder blades together, keeping the chest broad. And after your next round of breath, just lower down, bringing your head to a block. We'll take about 10 breaths here. So I'm curious, how is tapas showing up in your life? This balance of surrender with Ishvara Pranidhana and tapas, that internal fire, that passion, that discipline. How are those two opposing actions working together to create integrity, strength, forward trajectory? And bringing yourself up to your palms, rolling onto one hip, wrapping the right leg around. Planting the soles of your feet, hips width distance parallel. Press down into your feet. Knees are pointing directly up towards the ceiling. Pull the feet back towards the sits bones so the backs of the legs are super engaged. Then palms facing up, plug the shoulders back. Inhale. And on the exhale, start to hug the lowest part of your belly in towards your back as you roll onto the sacrum. And it'll be like a wave of engagement as you lower the back body down, really nice and slow, very mindful. Like you're doing research on your core, finding the different muscles to engage. And then fingertips, toes, reach in opposite directions as you take a full body stretch, straightening the knees. Inhaling for 3 rounds of breath, expanding through all sides of the rib cage, especially pressing those back ribs down on the inhale. Third exhale, just draw your knees in towards your chest, thread your arms through, reaching for the outer edges of your feet, coming into Ananda Balasana, happy baby. You can tighten the upper back, squeezing the shoulder blades together. You can just take a gentle rock from side to side as you lengthen the tailbone towards the top of the mat. And then close your knees. Bring your shins parallel to the ground. Knees are bent 90 degrees. Drop both knees over towards the left side, stacking that right knee directly over the left. You can use the left palm to kind of guide the right arm out towards the right. Gaze is going to follow, but we're going to do so by lifting the head, spinning it on its axis, and then dropping it back down. So finding the full inhale here in this twist. And then coming back through center, nice and slow and controlled. And then drop both knees over towards the right, stacking the left knee directly over the right. You can use your right hand to guide that left knee. Extending the left arm out, gaze follows. Bringing your knees back through center. You can take one final symmetrical pose, so that can be knees to chest, wrapping your arms around your shins. You can take another happy baby. You may take a plow pose, so reaching your legs up and feet back towards the ground behind your head. Anything that's speaking to you towards for the end of practice. Supta Baddha Konasana, beautiful. Taking about 3 breaths in whatever pose you're choosing, 3 long, full breaths. And then making your way into your Shavasana, final resting pose. Tapas. Discipline. That internal fire. So last Friday was the cloudiest day. And I did just like that guy said, I took one step after the other. And man, was my fire burning. And I got to the top. No view. Total cloud cover. There's that surrender to God. Surrender to what is. And we still work. We still do it. We still go. Fire burning. Ready for surrender. Big breath in. Exhale it out. And again, inhaling. Exhale. Finding the inhale. Fueling your flame. Exhale it out. Again, inhale. Start to invite some movement into your body. Wiggling fingers and toes. Maybe rocking your head from side to side. Jazz fingers are welcome. And then making your way up to your favorite sweet seat. We'll end with our hands over top our low belly. Over the place where the deep knowing that there is work to be done resides. Big breath into that space. Exhale it out. Inhale, take your hands to your heart. Exhale, bow your chin to your chest, thumbs to your third eye. Namaste. Thank you so much, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Just one announcement.